Okay, we are live. Okay, guys, hello. First of all, let me present myself. My name is Rodrigo, okay, and I am here to introduce you to our basic English lesson, okay. I'm part of the team of English Express, okay. English Express is an English center that is placed in Rabat Agdal, in Avenue de France. It's very close to the tram station, and it's a center that has already 1 year and a half of history. And our main focus here is communication. So, of course, this is a grammar class today, but definitely when our students come here, what they learn the most is how to communicate in English. And our value proposition has this methodology being done with native speakers. So our teachers are American teachers that, and I hope that they are safe and sound at home. Also our students and also our staff team. And let's start with our basic English lessons. But before that, I just want to present to you a little bit how will these free online classes happen, okay? So, we're going to have classes 2 times per week for the next 2 weeks, always at 8 p.m. So, always in the same time, you can save it in your agenda. Okay? When it comes to the topics that we're going to talk about, so today, April 1st, we're going to talk about the verb to be, right? The most important verb in the English language. After that, we're going to have a class about the simple present. So that's our upcoming class next Friday. Don't miss it. Save your time in your agenda. And we're going to have then by next week on Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to talk about present continuous or present progressive, and we're going to talk about prepositions. So in, on, and at. Okay? Well, let's kickstart our first lesson for today. Don't forget to save the dates. So, making an introduction about the verb to be. The verb to be is the verb être in French, okay? As I already mentioned, is the most important verb in the English language. And today, we're going to talk about the verb to be in the simple present. Okay? So, how to use the verb to be in practice? I'm going to start by showing it how do we actually use them in real life. So, you can check over there that we have the verb to be that can be used with numbers, right? So, I put over there 3 examples. He is 10 years old. I am 191 centimeters tall. And it is 8 o'clock. Okay? Moving on, we can also use the verb to be with a noun, right? 3 other examples. She is a doctor. You are a student. They are pilots. Our last example is with the verb to be with an adjective. So, for example, it is quiet. You aren't German. He is shy. Okay? Now we start with the very, very basic. But before we go to the very basic part, we need to talk about the pronouns. Okay? The pronouns. In this case, as we are in Morocco, I'm going to use also the French pronouns, which are les noms in French, okay, to support us with all of this. Please don't evaluate my English, my French, I'm sorry, it's definitely not perfect, okay? So, we have over there I, that is used as je in French. We have you, that is used as tu in French. We have he, that is used as il in French. We have she, that is used as elle in French. We have it, that doesn't have a pronoun in French. We have we, that is used as nous in French. We have you, that is the same as the other you that you can see, but in this case it means vous in French. And we have they, that is used as il or elle avec s in French. Okay? Well, from the pronouns, just an explanation about the pronoun it. Okay? It can be used for animals, for objects, for places, and for things. When I mention things, I'm talking about, for example, the sun. I'm talking about the sky. I'm talking about the wind. They are not solid things, but they're still things. Okay? And, well, another important point is every time you're going to use the verb, the pronoun it, this pronoun, when it's used in the plural, you're going to use they. So we're gonna check it out some examples right now. Okay? So I put over here some examples, and you can check. The first example is Zakaria, right? Zakaria is a man. So if he's a man, he, right? Hajar is a woman. In this case, it's she, right? My brother is a man. So it's also he. Ahmed and Sarah, we're talking about two people. In this case, we're going to use they. The elephant is an animal, so we're going to use it. The elephants, in this case, it's an animal, but it's in the plural. So we're going to use they for elephants. Ellie and I, we're talking in this case about we. We're talking about Rabat as a city. Rabat, it. And if we're talking about an object, such as table, the table as our example, we're going to use it. Okay? Moving on, now we're going to check the verb to be with the affirmative form. Okay? So for I, we're going to use I am. For you, we're going to use you are. For he, we're going to use he is. For she, we're going to use she is. For it, we're going to use it is. For we, we're going to use we are. For you, we're going to use you are. And the last one, they, we're going to use they are. I did a small resume of everything that was talked. So is the special one. We're going to use I am is unique. Okay. Then we have he, she, or it. These three we're going to use is, he is, she is, it is, right? And we have you, we, and they that we're going to use are, right? You are, we are, they are. Okay? Moving on to check some examples about the verb to be. So our first one, I am happy, right? Because I is the special one, is the unique one, right? She, we're going to use is. She is intelligent. Okay. The next example, you are Moroccans, right? My brother is cool. The cat is 2 years old. The cats, in this case, it's the plural, so we're going to use the cats are outside, right? A very, very, very common mistake that we do is that some people, they do the repetition. So, for example, they put over there, my brother, he is cool. In this case, it's incorrect because you're repeating the pronoun he twice, 2 times. Okay? So please try to avoid always the repetition. It's not correct. Okay? Moving on to the verb to be in the negative form. For I, we're going to use I am not. For you, we're going to use you are not or you aren't. For he, we're going to use he is not or he isn't. For she, we're going to use she is not or she isn't. For it, we're going to use it is not or it isn't. For we, we're going to use we are not or we aren't. For you, we're going to use you are not or you aren't, the same as the other one. And the last one, for they, we're going to use they are not or they aren't. Okay? Just a reminder, the 2 formats are correct. You can say you are not or you aren't. The 2 are completely correct. Okay? Let's check some examples about the verb to be in the negative form. So, he is 10 years old. If we make it negative, he isn't 10 years old or he is not 10 years old. Next example. She is a doctor. She is not a doctor or she isn't a doctor. It is quiet. It is not quiet. It isn't quiet. I am 191 centimeters tall. I am not 191 centimeters tall. You are a student. The example in negative, you are not a student or you aren't a student. Next example, it is 8 o'clock. It is not 8 o'clock or it isn't 8 o'clock. He is shy. Our last example. He is not shy or he isn't shy. Okay? Now we're going to talk about the contraction. What is the contraction? It's a shorter form of the verb to be. It can be used for affirmative and negative sentences. And it doesn't change the meaning. It can be used the same as the ones that I showed you before. But the difference is in the pronunciation. Okay? We're going to focus on that right now. So for the affirmative form of the contraction, for I am, we're going to use I'm. For you are, we're going to use your. For he is, we're going to use his. For she is, we're going to use she's. For it is, we're going to use its. For we are, we're going to use we're. For you are, we're going to use your. Again, repeat it. And the last one, for they are, we're going to use their. Okay? Then for the negative form, you also have our examples. I am not, I'm not. I am not, I'm not. You aren't, you're not. He isn't, he's not. She isn't, she's not. It isn't, it's not. We aren't, we are not. You aren't, you're not. They aren't, they are not. Okay? So please remember about the pronunciation. That's the special part about the contraction. Okay? And last but not least, let's talk a little bit about the questions in the verb to be, right? So for the affirmative sentences, he is happy. In this case, we're going to change the positioning of the verb to be to the beginning of the sentence. As you can check over there. So he is happy. For us to make it as a question, we're going to change the position between is and he, right? So we have as a final question, is he happy? So he is happy. Is he happy? The same example for negative sentences. So you are not happy. In this case, we're going to change the verb to be in the negative format and put it in the beginning of the sentence. So, aren't you happy? That would be the question. Okay? So, we can check over there the affirmative and the negative form of how to make questions using the verb to be. Right? So for I am I, you are you, he is he, she is she, it is it, we are we, you are you, they are they. This for the affirmative part of the verb to be in the questions, right? But if you're going to use the questions in the negative format, we have I am not, am I not? I put a little remark over there about this one because it's a very formal way of saying it. Grammatically, it's correct, but it's very formal. You can also find out aren't I, but that's a different lesson, that's a different class. Okay, guys? So we have, continuing, we have you aren't, so as a question, aren't you? He isn't he? She isn't she? It isn't it? We aren't we? You aren't you? They aren't they? Okay, guys? So, let's check our final examples of this lesson of today. Okay? So you can check some questions of verb to be that we're going to create, right? So, he is 10 years old. Creating a question. Is he 10 years old? She is a doctor. Next example. To make it as a question. Is she a doctor? It is quiet. To make it as a question. Is it quiet? I am 191 centimeters tall. Am I 191 centimeters tall? Or, in this case, I'm making it grammatically correct. If this is a conversation and you're changing, you want to ask the person, are you 191 centimeters tall? Okay? Next example, you are a student. Are you a student? That's a question. It is 8 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock? He is shy. Is he shy? Guys, that was it for our lesson of today. It's very simple. It should not take a long time, okay? And well, I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, okay? I really hope that you guys are feeling well at home, that you are staying at home, that you're taking care of your health, okay? And just a reminder, for English Express, communication is the most important thing for us. Okay, so remember to stay home, to wash your hands, and thank you so much for your attention. And I see you in the next live. Bye bye.